It was a beautiful sunny spring morning. The golden sun was slowly rising, softly illuminating the meadows that sparkled with morning dew. The air was fresh and clean, filled with the scent of earth, grass, and the first flowers. Grandmother quietly opened the door to my room and gently woke me up. With a gentle smile, she said, "Get dressed and go have breakfast. Then we'll go to the cave by the river." As a 5-year-old child, I immediately jumped out of bed. My heart started beating faster because I knew I would meet my friend André there. I quickly got dressed and ate breakfast, barely able to wait to leave. In the yard, Grandma and Aunt were already preparing the horse. They harnessed Shargo, a magnificent purebred Lipizzaner who stood calmly and gently tapped the ground with his hoof. The cart creaked softly as we climbed aboard and set off on our way. During the ride, a pleasant morning silence prevailed. All that could be heard was the singing of birds and the steady hoofbeats of Sharga on the gravel road. Sunbeams broke through the trees, painting patterns of light along the path. The journey seemed short to me, as I was full of anticipation. Soon we arrived at the field by the cave. André noticed us from afar. He stood at the edge of the field waiting for me. When we saw each other, we smiled and ran toward one another. Grandma and Aunt untied Sharga and fastened her to a long rope so she could graze peacefully. André and I, without a word, slipped down the slope toward the cave, which was right next to the field. For us, the cave was a truly mysterious world. It was about 50 meters wide and almost 70 meters long. Scattered across its floor were hollows filled with water, a little over half a meter deep and about a meter wide. The water in them was dark and mysterious, as if it were hiding nature's little secrets. Grandma and Aunt knew that we were irresistibly drawn to the water. They came to the edge of the cave and Grandma said in a serious voice, "Don't jump into the cold water." Aunt added, "You could get a cramp and die." At those words, we stopped in our tracks. Suddenly, the cave became even more mysterious and a little frightening. André looked at me and quietly said, "Peter, we have to be very careful." We slowly walked to the edge of one of the corners with water. We knelt down and looked into the depths. Small black creatures were swimming in the water. They were about 1 centimeter long, very slender, and almost invisible unless you looked closely. André whispered, "It's probably a leech." For a moment I paused and said with slight fear, "So small, yet so dangerous." We both watched the water cautiously, as if we were looking at something very mysterious and dangerous. At that moment our imagination was stronger than reality. It was only many years later that we learned this little creature is called a newt and that it actually isn't dangerous at all. When I think back to that day now, I remember the warmth of the sun, the gentle sound of hooves, and the laughter of children. Those were not just moments of play. They were moments of childhood, filled with imagination, fear, and curiosity. And it is precisely these moments that stay with us forever.